Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last of this three-part series. If you're here, say hi to me and go ahead and tag somebody who needs to hear this. Now, as you can see, this is not my usual background. I am away from my usual office and I'm coming to you live from the library, and let's hope that nobody comes back to this private room to tell me to be quiet, right? But I have to get this information out to you because this will massively improve your scores. It will dissolve, it will completely help you understand any inexplicable bar exam failures. Some of you just don't know why you didn't pass the bar, and if you're heading towards it for the first time, this is going to help you to prevent some of the culprits that come your way when you're trying to pass. Culprits that come because you're ignorant of what I'm about to tell you, and not ignorant in a pejorative way, but just that you don't know these things. So I'm going to put it out there for you. You definitely want to stay to the end because I'm going to explain to you what the problem is and how to know if you have the problem, but then you're going to get a way of getting the resource to correct that problem for yourself. I'm all about giving you the solutions, not just the information. And then if you want deeper help and support to implement those solutions, you could always look into our bar exam mentoring circle. The transformation of the people in that circle, not just about how well they're doing with their bar exam, but their whole lives are getting better. But I digress. We are talking today, this is the third part of our series on Pause the Panic. And in the first two parts of this series, we covered really important topics. You can't miss any of them, really. So go back and rewatch those replays from 2 weeks ago and last week. And today, we're going to cover yet another part of this topic about why you might be procrastinating, why you might not have focus when you're supposed to be studying, why you may just simply not see the scores reflecting what you're supposed to be doing. Last live, we talked about why your scores don't match up, and whether your feelings matched up with your actual progress, how to test that, gauge that, and what to do to fix that. If you believe you've been studying enough but your scores aren't showing it, or if you're feeling at peace but you shouldn't be based on what your scores say, your practice scores. We talked about all that stuff in the last live. Definitely go back and watch it and download the free tool that we gave you there to help you with that. But here we're going to go one step further. So I took you through the different steps of depth that I take my clients through when we discuss what some of these bar exam problems are that they're having. People sign up and work with me because they're procrastinating, they can't focus, they're not doing well on their actual practice, they're failing the bar, and they don't understand why, because they did everything they were told to do. And so because of that, I want to bring you through the way that I would bring them through the different levels of what's wrong, let's diagnose, and let's fix. And so the third and the deepest level that we go to, they're huge. They impact all of your life, not just the bar exam, but what happens is the bar exam is highlighting it now. So if you're ready to dive into what that deepest level of it is, put on your thinking caps, because this one is deep, guys. This one is deep. And if you're here now live, go ahead and say hi. We're about to go deep. Tag someone who needs to be watching this right now and let me know. How many of you have heard about this fear of success thing? Let me know if you've heard about this fear of success thing. And what I'm going to do right now is actually grab my phone, if I can find it. I'm in the library. I'm not where I'm supposed to be, so no, I can't find it, but that's okay. Write me a comment down below and I'll see it right here as you comment. But how many of you have heard of fear of success? We have to decipher between fear of failure and fear of success when it comes to what's going wrong with your bar exam. The reason why we need to look at those things is because they're not just, niceties that people make comments and posts about. They are real things that affect you for real. Now, there's other things that we look at before we get down to that level. Like I said, this is the third part. This part goes deep. So there's other things you look at before you get to that level, but this level is the deepest of it. And there's fear of success versus fear of failure, and you need to know which one you may be dealing with if you have inexplicable failures or inexplicable hurdles to concentrating, retaining, and actually moving forward with passing your bar exam. Know the difference. I always associate fear of failure with your thoughts are about the bar exam itself. You're worried about passing it or failing it, and your thoughts are, when you stop and ask yourself deeper, why are you so concerned that you're not remembering anything? Well, because then, it'll be just like the last times and I'll fail. So now you're looking at a very clear, easy to spot fear of failure. Okay, why is that such a big deal? Now, I know for a lot of people, it's like, what do you mean a big deal? Of course it's a big deal. I know. I failed the bar twice. I am not saying these things flippantly. I know. But you have to get down to the emotions of it so that you can release that emotional storm. Because let me tell you what happens. When fear is gripping you, you cannot function. It siphons off your life energy. Can someone type that in there? When fear is gripping you, you cannot function. Just go ahead and type that into the comments for me. It siphons off your life energy. You are unable to do what you need to do. And the bar exam is not some easy test that you can just flip off. You actually have to concentrate. Maybe more so than other activities that you're doing in your life. So if that's the case, you really can't afford to have your energy siphoned off, but fear freezes you. The only usefulness that it has is to pump adrenaline into you and get you to run off for your life. But the bar exam is not a physical threat. It's an academic challenge. So if you are facing or trying to go through your bar exam activities with fear, then you're not going to do well. I'm sorry, hon, you're not. So we need to look at what the fear is, whether it's fear of failure or fear of success. When your thoughts are centered around, I'm not going to do well on the bar, people are going to know I'm not going to do well, I'm going to have ended up wasting time and money. How many of you felt like you wasted time and money? When your thoughts are around that area, you're looking at fear of failure of the bar exam. But when your thoughts are about, let's go to fear of success. When you don't have any thoughts about what happens after the bar exam, you can almost be certain that you need to investigate whether or not your ego, which is the survival part of you that doesn't like new situations, investigate whether or not your ego is actually invested in keeping you in this in-between stage. You graduated law school, okay, fine, but I'm not going to let you pass the bar because we don't actually know what this whole lawyer thing looks like. Our ego does that to us sometimes. It keeps us from succeeding because of fear of the unknown. That is a thing. And a lot of people don't realize it's a thing until it's too late, until they fail the bar 10 times. So you want to look at whether you have a fear of success. And you'll know if you have a fear of success because one, what happens after the bar is a complete blank to you. You have not given it any thought. Two, you actually disdain lawyers, have a poor opinion of the legal field and of legal people, right? Like, why would you, your ego, your part of you that wants to keep you righteous and safe, why would it let you enter into a profession that you actually despise the people that practice in that profession? Okay, another way you can see that your ego is keeping you from succeeding, and it's not so much that you're afraid of failure, but it's keeping you from succeeding, is what happens after the bar is blank. You despise people that are in the legal profession, or you despise the board of bar examiners who are all lawyers, okay? And also, yeah, you can think about it, but you don't like what you hear about law. You don't like the prospect of either having to fight to have a normal life and work balance, or just not having that work-life balance. Maybe you've heard from other attorneys how terrible it is. Maybe you've seen attorneys fall sick and blame the practice of law for why they are dealing with cancer or other diseases right now. Those are all indications that you may actually fear passing the bar. And because of those unresolved fears, now your ego holds you back from doing your best. So you can either be holding back because you don't want to fail again, or your energy is diverted because you're afraid of failing again, or you're holding back because you're actually afraid of passing and what it means once you pass. Those are the two branches of fear that we discover when we're working with you to find out why exactly you may not be passing the bar exam. Okay, so looks like somebody else had the same idea that I did. She came in here with her electronics. Okay, So now that you know the two branches of fear and what they each mean, now the question is, well, what do we do about it? And maybe you have a question of, well, whether that's actually your fear that you're dealing with, okay? So the reason why you want to know about these fears is because if you've already done our study typing quiz to know your study personality, you've already done it, you've already discovered what all the different methods that you need to apply for your studying are, you're applying those methods, you have a good study schedule, all the things that we work you through in our workshop. We have resources for those things. If you need those resources, comment below so that Ashley can send you messages that direct you to the different resources. But you've already got your self-study plan that balances your work, your life, your children, everything. You've already got your perfect study methods and strategies. You've already got the resources, and yet you're still having trouble when it's time to study. You're still having trouble to focus. You're still having trouble to motivate yourself. You're still having trouble with your actual scores. Now we have to talk about what mindset issues exist. And one of the major ones is the fear, success or failure. And that's why this is the biggest part of this 3-part series, because that part you're not going to get out of your bar course. Honestly, you're not even going to get that from church, because you may get a mentor who explains fear of success, fear of failure, but who's going to go deep into the intricacies of it when it comes to you as an aspiring attorney, right? This is where you get that. How does that information apply to me? How does that information make a difference with my bar exam? This is where you get that. And so if you need to now go deeper because you sense, okay, I've got all my supplies, I got all my resources, I got my perfect study plan, and yet I'm still holding back, pumping my brakes, not applying myself the way that I know that I should, all those issues that you just can't explain, now we need to talk. Now we need to dive into what the mindset, barriers and barricades are. And in that, I have resources. Always have resources, okay? So we are finishing up putting the shiny bow on top of our Conquerors Mindset bundle. And this bundle is going to help you to actually resolve the things that you discover are a problem. It actually includes resources from the other episodes that we've discussed, but most importantly, it is now going to help you to either dissect and dissolve that fear of failure that you have, or dissect and dissolve the fear of success that you have. It's going to take you through the steps, and what you're going to find is that you're going to be at peace, you're going to be hopeful, you're going to be happy, and it's going to show in your bar exam progress and scores, because when you're living under fear, you are doing worse academically, physically, emotionally, and it's impacting your bar exam. So when you break out of that, and the Conquerors Mindset Bundle, the resources in it take you step by step to break out of it. And you can do it in the comfort of your own home. When you break out of it, then you are free. And now you can take that energy that's been freed and you can apply it to your goal, which is passing the bar exam. So if you want to be put on the wait list for the Conquerors Mindset Bundle, it's not quite ready yet, but we're going to shoot out to you details on how to get your hands on it as soon as it goes live. But if you want to be on the wait list for the Conquerors Mindset Bundle, you want to get all the information, you want to get ready to grab a hold of it and start using it before your October bar exam, comment down below. Say, I want it, and we will send you the link with the info stuff, and so that you can get on the wait list and you can get an email as soon as it's prepared. If you're not getting our emails, make sure that you go to your promotions box or your spam box and you let your Gmail, Yahoo, or whoever your service provider know that this email is important. If you also want to kind of do it in an easy way, you can always hit reply on one of our emails and just say thanks. And your email service provider will realize, oh, she or he is actually talking to this person. They must be important, and so let's deliver to their main inbox. So that's a way to make sure that you get our emails when they come to you. But the Conquerors Mindset Bundle is coming down the pike, and this is going to be your all-inclusive resource for dealing with all the 3 things that we spoke about, including today's most important topic of whether or not the fear of success or failure is actually tripping you up. And if in listening to this live you realize, yeah, it is tripping me up, then this mindset bundle is a no-brainer. You need it, go get it, because that is what's going to help you to work those problems out, as opposed to sitting here going, yes, I know I have this fear of failure, and then you don't do anything about it. Like, that's not smart. If you know you have it, the next step is to do something about it. And if you don't do something about it, you have to question whether you really want to pass this bar. If you know your symptoms and your circumstances fall under the fear of failure or fear of success umbrella, you have now been presented with the solution. If you fail to avail yourself of that solution, you must question whether you actually want to pass that bar exam. And failing to avail yourself of the solution is probably sourced in one of those fears as well. Those fears will keep you from doing the very thing you need to do in order to gain your goal, because on some level you're afraid of either gaining your goal or trying for it and then failing. Sometimes you might be afraid, well, what if I try this and it still doesn't work? That's fear speaking. Because if you don't try it, there's no chance, right? Or you may not even realize you're thinking this. What if this is the one thing that does work? Uh-oh, then I have to face being an attorney. I hadn't thought that far, huh? But that's the point of mindset work, is we get you to do that kind of deep thinking so that you can save yourself the trauma of failing again and all the time and money that goes into having to keep retaking it and keep trying for something that you say that you want but you've never actually attained. We help you to bypass all that by actually solving the real problems that are keeping you from passing. Because if you graduated from law school, you can pass the bar exam. It's not academic. Find out about the Conquerors Mindset Bundle by commenting below that you want it, and we will make sure that you get the link to be notified as soon as it's ready for you. All right, that's what I have for you guys. I hope that everything went well. Type in the comments replay if you're watching by replay, and I will talk with you again very soon. Bye for now.